Hey y'all, it is Carmen Chloe, creator of the SingleMarriedWidow.com movement. Welcome to my page, welcome to my video. Make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on so you can hear when I do a video. I do a video at least once a week, between 1 to 3 times a week, so make sure you tune in. In this video, we're going to be talking about what are the benefits of grief coaching. Now, we all know about life coaching. People have life coaches and they pay them premium prices so that they can help them along with their life issues, so they can help them along to achieve certain things in their life. And I totally believe in the industry of life coaching if it's done with integrity, if it's a person is really operating from a place of like expertise and they can really help out people. So with me being thrust into this world of widowhood, I realized that there are grief coaches. And as I realized that, and as I went through my journey, I felt led and called to become a grief coach, which I already have an education background. I've always been a teacher of sorts. I've always had a desire to help women even before I became a widow. And then going through this journey and learning the things that I've learned about grief and how the human mind works and how we operate when we grieve, I felt even more led and more called to create a grief coaching program, which I have done that. And in my mind, I align coaching with teaching. So it led me to do some research, and I've been reading different books on grief and the process and all that type of stuff. And I really was sitting and I was thinking, I was like, someone would probably want to know, like, what is the benefit of grief coaching? Just like with life coaching, the benefit of life coaching, you're going to be able to arrive at a destination that you may not have been able to get to on your own. And I think in the same token, grief coaching can be just as beneficial. So I wanted to share with you 5 ways that I believe that grief coaching would be beneficial for you or the woman who is ready to go ahead and start grieving and healing and actually living life again after the loss of their spouse. So number 1 is grief coaching will give you permission to grieve, okay? Someone had to give me permission to grieve in a sense, because I had so much going on after my late husband passed that I didn't have time to grieve, okay? I had to think about where my children and I were going to live. I had to think about getting new transportation for us. I had to think about if I was going to stay in the current state that I was in or if I was going to move back to my home state with my children. So I had a lot on my mind in addition to planning the funeral, which that's a whole nother beast within itself. So I didn't have time to grieve. And I went along this trajectory of like being superwoman. I had to protect my children. I had to be strong because there were wolves in sheep's clothing around me trying to take advantage of me in different aspects. And I just put on this protector mode, and it was on me, and it wasn't even a thought in my mind that, oh my God, I need to grieve. I can grieve now. And literally one of the pastors at my church, my old church in Georgia, they were like, because I come from a prophetic church, we hear the voice of God loud and clear. And he literally was like, I'm releasing a spirit of grief upon you. You need to start grieving now. You need to be intentional about grieving, because if you don't grieve, that is going to turn into bitterness. So I literally, like when I got to Florida, I ended up leaving Georgia, got to Florida, and I was able to sit down. I wasn't running, trying to figure things out. Like everything was figured out. My children and I were at a comfortable state to where we could breathe and just be and have family around us, taking care of us, making sure we were good. I was able to let my guards down because there was nobody around me that I had to question their motives or their intentions. So that's when I was able to grieve. And the spirit of grief came upon me, and I was able to cry when I felt like crying. I was able to stay in bed when I felt like staying in bed. And I thought about that. I was like, somebody literally had to like release the spirit of grief upon me and say, hey, you need to grieve. You've been through a lot. You need to grieve. So with grief coaching, I realized if I went through that, then there are other women who maybe don't know how to grieve, maybe need someone to teach them how to grieve, maybe don't even realize that they haven't given themselves permission to grieve. So that's the number 1 benefit to me of grief coaching. Number 2 is with grief coaching, you'll learn strategies for how to heal. In my grief coaching program, the curriculum that I have created, I'm teaching the exact strategies that I utilize, that I had utilized in my life, and that I'm still utilizing in my life to heal. Okay, it's been a little over a year for me, and I believe that my healing and my process has just been accelerated, and I attribute that to faith. I attribute that to the hand of God on my life, and the exact strategies that I have used, I'm teaching them in my program to help you to heal, because grieving and healing are two different things. Number 3 is you discover who you are after loss. The moment your husband passed away, you are no longer the same person. You're different. You'll never be that person again. You'll never be that person again. And if you're anything like me, you, in the beginning, you don't really even know who you are at that point. You were married on a Saturday, not married on a Sunday. People are saying you're widowed. You don't connect with that, because in your mind, like, you're still a wife. You're not single anymore, even though on paper someone may call you single, but you're not single. You don't connect to the single lady, mindset anymore, because you're a whole wife. So it takes some intentional work to discover, like, who am I after loss? And I had to go through that, and I'm still discovering who I am after loss in certain aspects. So grief coaching will help you to do just that. I will help you to do just that, should you decide to join my grief coaching program. Number 4, grief coaching will help you to create a purposeful life after loss. Yes, it hurts like hell that your husband passed away. Yes, you may not even know who you are. Yes, you may have not taken a bath in 5, 7, 10 days. Yes, you may not have eaten a real meal in 2 weeks. Yes, you may not know, you're coming from your going, you're up from your down, but you're not meant to stay in that place. You're not meant to stay in that place of grief. You're not meant to stay in that place of bewilderment. You're not meant to stay in that place of stagnation and paralyzation. Like, you're going to have to get up. You're going to have to pick up your bed and walk. And grief coaching, someone like me, will help you to figure that out. Will help you to figure out, okay, I'm ready to grieve. I'm ready to heal. And I also want to do something beyond that. I want to do something else with my life. I want to help other women that are in this same position. I want to pick up the passions that I put down when I became a wife and a mother. And that's a benefit of grief coaching, to help you create a purposeful life after loss. Not a life where you're just, you're existing, a life where you're living. Okay? And that brings me to point number 5. Grief coaching will offer you accountability. It will offer you accountability to stick to the strategies that we develop in the program for you to heal, and it'll hold you accountable to actually live again and not just exist. So those are 5 reasons that I feel like grief coaching is so impactful and so important to the woman, the widow, the warrior who has made a decision that, you know what, I'm not going to stay in this place. I'm wounded, I'm broken, but I'm not going to stay in this place. I'm going to get up. I'm going to live again. I'm going to do something with my life. I'm going to impact other lives. So if this message resonated with you and you are ready to pick up your bed and walk, you are ready to take off the grave clothes, you are ready to live and not just exist, you are ready to heal and not just grieve, I want you to apply for my 4-week coaching program, okay? It starts February 3rd, okay? It's a 4-week program. You'll have 4 one-on-one private sessions with me. I have a whole curriculum set out that is going to take you through the process of grieving, healing, and creating a purposeful life after loss. Now, you do have to apply for it, because I want to make sure that we are a good fit for each other, and I want to make sure that I'm going to be just as beneficial to you as you will be committed to the process of it benefiting yourself. So I'm going to leave the link in the description section for you to complete the application, and then I'll be in touch with you so we can have our 15-minute discovery call, and then we'll go from there. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to my channel, and turn your notifications on. Peace.